Okay, folks, we're at video number 3 of Natural Law. My name's Bill Hoy. What in the world is going on? My YouTube channel here. Once again, I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. I'm trying to get that changed. I really would like to title "Live Free and or Die." I think that'd be really cool. I really like that, but let's not beat that up. Because it is a good question. What in the world is going on here? It is a good question. Sure is. So, we're talking about natural law, and so, I was talking about how natural law is perverted, not just by these politicians and bankers and royals and all that stuff, but by these cultural religions. These cultural religions. I talked about the whole idea of Christ returning and all that stuff, and ain't happening. The man, no. If there ever was one. If there ever was one. I wasn't there 2,000 years ago. Were you? I don't know. So, let's start talking about the founding fathers of the United States of America. I mentioned this a couple times. I'm from America. The founding fathers, oh boy, they were slave owners. Yeah, some of them were. Some of them were. And, and the founding fathers also were a part of the destruction to the real Americans, the Native Americans. The Native Americans are the real Americans, okay? Anglo-Saxons did not discover America, folks. America had been discovered for 30,000 years. And, there were Native Americans, okay? And, they're called Indians, but, Indians are from India and the West Indies, not New Jersey. So, despite the founding fathers, contradicting themselves many times, the founding fathers did what no one in this entire world ever really did on a mass scale, and that was they let the cat out of the bag, folks. They let the cat out of the bag. They told us, hey, guess what, everybody? Your rights don't come from a government. They don't come from a king. They don't come from militaries. Your rights are yours. They're birthrights. Whoa. Really? Yes. The founding fathers let the cat out of the bag, and believe me, they were hated. And I mean, they were hated by a lot of people. But they were hated by these clubs and these, the royals and the kings and all that. They're like, what are these jerk-offs doing? Don't tell these people this stuff. What are you doing? Don't tell them this. The founding fathers told the world, really, pretty much, esoteric truths that were only supposed to be known by a few people. The fact that our rights are immutable, inalienable, birthrights endowed by creation, that's, which is all pieces of that are in the Declaration of Independence and the preamble of the Constitution and stuff like that. That, the common person was not supposed to know that. The common person was not supposed to know that, folks. That's what's so amazing about the founding fathers. I had a jerk off say to me one time, because it was like Columbus Day, and I was just like, I don't acknowledge this Columbus Day at all. I mean, Christopher Columbus and the conquistadors were, infringing on people's rights, murdering and slaughtering people, doing horrific things to people, and Columbus was a big part of that. And Columbus was, he was an invader. He was, and there's a lot of accounts of Columbus, But of course, the founding fathers revered Columbus. The founding fathers. I think Columbus Day really started in the days of the founding fathers. But he tried to say, oh, the founding fathers is the same as Columbus. Wrong. Because Columbus brought a belief to this world rooted in the Vatican that certain people are meant to dominate the world, and others it's okay to murder. That's what Columbus brought to this world. Columbus brought to the world that, it's started the whole idea of, that people with darker skin are more like animals and all that shit, man. Columbus brought some really nasty shit to the world that still exists today. Still exists today, man. I mean, people are, Columbucism still goes on today. And of course, it's a misdirection. They make it about Italian Americans and all that stuff. But the point was, this jerk-off was trying to say that there's nothing different between the founding fathers of the United States and Columbus. And that is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. The founding father, Columbus, brought absolute slavery to the entire world. The founding fathers, while yes, they participated in some slavery themselves, and they participated in, atrocities to Native Americans, but the founding fathers did what no one ever did in the history of the world on a mass scale. They laid a foundation for worldwide universal freedom. And they let the cat out of the bag, and they wrote it into a doctrine of a country. I mean, the Declaration of Independence, we should have just stopped right there, man. We were good with that. We were good with the Declaration of Independence. And I'm going to talk about that a lot, because the Declaration of Independence, people don't understand, really don't understand the Revolutionary War. People think that, okay, the colonists declared their independence, and then, as soon as they beat Cornwallis at whatever I think that last battle was in Virginia, then they became free. Wrong, folks. Soon as they knew and understood they were free, they were free. Of course, the British didn't agree with that, so they had to put their safety on hold and fight. And that's what you got people here in here in America who don't want to put their safety on hold to be free. They want to secure their safety, so they allow themselves to live in fear and be slaves. And then, of course, once again, more misdirection. People think that joining a military and, when you join a military, you're fighting for freedom and democracy, which is another sham. But democracy, freedom, and all that stuff, and you're not. You're not. And the Founding Fathers knew this. The Founding Fathers vehemently warned us about having a standing army. I mean, Founding Fathers were intensely opposed to a professional army, because they knew what professional armies do. People back then knew this stuff. Natural law. That's what the Founding Fathers brought to the world. They brought natural law to this world. Okay? They brought natural law to this world. And our world is a hell world because of the behavior of humanity in the aggregate. We don't observe natural law, and for that, we live in a hell world. We live in a hell world. Natural law governs how we treat other humans, animals, and our natural environment, folks. That's another thing that comes into play here. Natural law is absolutely in effect. We're destroying our life support systems on this planet, and one of those things being intentional interventions, climate engineering, filling the sky with particles. I mean, I don't know how anybody can think that's a good idea. I mean, these order followers that are engaging, these pilots that are engaging in these programs, possibly thinking that they're doing something good for the planet, or just doing what they're doing, I don't want to know, I just press this button when I get to this altitude. I'll tell you right now, man, there's some serious natural law consequences coming for you whether in the physical world or in the spirit world. We're going to get to that too. We're really going to talk about all this stuff. But these climate engineering programs are just destroying this planet. Once again, look up climate engineering. Look up Jeff Rentz. Look up Clifford Carnicom. Look up a site that I like a lot. It's called geoengineeringwatch.org with Dane Wigington. Look at that stuff and research it, man. Research it. Don't just buy the condensation trail lie, which even if it was just condensation trails, and I'm going to do a whole segment on this, so I don't want to get too deep into it, but I mean, use your sense of reason. I mean, when you look up in the sky and you see planes going back and forth and the sky turns white, I mean, whatever it is, can that be good? Seriously. Talk about a need to understand natural law. That's it right there. Our environment, folks, I got bad news for you. No environment, no air, no soil, no water, no life on Earth, folks. Habitat. We need habitat or we die. We need habitat or we die, and that's absolutely, in effect, natural law as we destroy our natural environment, our creation. That's what the environment is, creation. We're destroying that. Natural law is gonna take care of all of us. And it may not be long, folks. Look up Guy McPherson, Extinction 2026. Look that up if you have the courage. So yeah, I mean, it's all I got written down. It exists whether we acknowledge it or not. I know I've said it many a times, and folks, I'm telling you, this natural law is the key to freedom, and it has a lot to do with us letting go of our fears. We have to start to value our rights and our freedoms over, first thing, our lives of leisure. That's a big one. I mean, we're completely, here in America especially, a materialistic, hedonistic society. I mean, people are, got their faces in their stupid phones, and everybody's worried about going to stupid Disney World and all that stuff, and people don't care about our freedoms. Don't give a shit about our freedoms. They think we're free. Hey, I'm free to go to Disney World. Okay. You're not free, dude. You're not free. And I'm telling you, folks, wherever people believe in the primacy of human laws, you're not free. And I know people are scared. I know people are scared. And I'm going to get deeper into this. Because a lot of people wonder, hey, what happened? We had this Declaration of Independence, and what our rights are is put out there. How do we get back? How do we get to this point? And I'm going to get into that, and I'm going to talk about it, because I really think, based on my research, it's fear. It's fear. Fear got us back to where we are. Fear keeps us in where we are. And let me tell you something, folks. I'm willing to live in a society with no human rulers, and whatever happens to me, man. Whatever happens to my family, happens to my family. My freedom, all of our freedoms, our rights, are more important to me than anything. More important to me than family. More important to me than my own life and the lives of my family. And I'm willing to put that all at risk. I don't want to be safe. I want to be free. Benjamin Franklin said, along the lines, anyone who gives up liberty for safety deserves neither and will lose both. And boy, are we there. And that's natural law, folks. Not human-made law. It's non-human-made. It's the natural law of human behaviors. Our job is to discover what natural law is and align our behaviors to it. And I'm not worried about what other people are going to do. I understand. It's understandable to be fearful of what other people are going to do, but I'm not going to allow it to give up my rights. We're going to be back with more of this stuff. Look it up. Look into it, folks.